So good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hi.
All nice.
Exam
Shall
card?
I keep the video like this or shall I off it or?
No, anything. That's fine.
Fine. Sir.
Okay. So you are only doing F8?
Sorry, sir.
You're only doing F8 this time?
No, sir, I'm doing financial reporting now.
F7?
F7, yes.
Yeah, okay. So exams are like on the same day or is it close?
No,
When is the exam?
audit is on the 7th, sir. 7th morning audit, and FR is on the 10th evening.
So you have time for that also.
Yes, about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. So how's F8 now?
F8 is okay, sir. I have some questions regarding systems and stuff. And some
Okay.
assertions also.
So systems will be
I
covered
wrote them
by
down. Sorry, sir?
systems and controls will be covered by Shukri, right?
Yeah, no, not the differences between purchases and payables ledgers. I'm confused about that.
Differences between
Purchases and payables is the same thing or is there a difference? Purchases and payables.
so purchases means what we buy.
Yes.
Payables means what we owe to the supplier.
Yeah, no. Purchases ledger and payables ledger.
Purchases ledger and payables ledger.
Is that the same thing or is there a difference?
Purchases ledger.
So we place the order, we get the goods, when we deliver the GRNs, then we record in the purchases ledger, right, sir?
Yeah, so that is a different thing. Payables ledger is what we owe to the supplier.
Payables ledger is a different ledger made using a sub payables list, right, sir?
Yes.
Creditors. That goes for the receivables also, right? Receivables ledger and sales ledger is different, right?
Purchases ledger and the payables ledger gives you what you act now. If you say you buy $100 of goods, okay. So then you record it in the purchase ledger. So that means you owe to the supplier.
Yeah.
So both are the same. So
like in some of the procedures, like they have table payables ledger and some there is purchases ledger. So both are the same thing, right? Basically.
yeah, both are the same thing. Now, if you buy $100 worth of goods, you will record it in purchase ledger. So which means you owe the supplier $100.
Okay.
So I mean, I saw you have sent me a lot of.
When we write. Yes.
No, I saw you. I saw your mail, and you have sent a lot of documents.
Yes.
And I actually couldn't. I mean, I didn't have time to go through them.
Okay, no worries.
You said that, sir. That you said that you went. You checked with the answers and all, right?
Yes, I wrote them first.
Okay.
Then I checked with the answers, and I like if there are some wrong points, like I just cut them off and wrote down the answer. So I'll just remember it. I'll leave a matakitna say.
I mean, there are more common answers that you can write now. If you take review and all, there are common procedures that you can write for any question.
Yes.
So likewise, I mean, if you just like now, sometimes there are specific scenarios also where you have to address the scenario and write a procedure for that.
Right, for the specific assertion. Nice.
Yes, I think most of the things are very common procedures. So when you do the past papers,
Yeah. It's like, so we have to cover all the assertions of the assertion and
yeah. Now now there are types of questions. No, one type they will just ask you what are the procedures that has to be performed in terms of this company's revenue.
Okay.
So then there is no restriction. No. You can write whatever you want relating to revenue, but there are certain questions which they tell you have to write the procedures in relation to the completion assertion, in relation to the cutoff assertion, in relation to the occurrence assertion. So then for those type of questions, you can't write anything else because you don't get marks. If they say completeness, it should be relating to completeness only. Okay. Now, completeness you can't write about valuation. Okay.
Yes.
You can't write whether the values of these inventories are accurate or not. That is not relevant for the completion.
Oh. So like if they have like generally asked about 3 assertions, we can write 3 for completeness, right? No worries, right?
They are not asking for 3 assertions, they will ask for 3 procedures.
Yeah, 3 procedures, sorry.
So then you can write for any assertion. There's no restriction.
We can write for the same thing, right? We can write about 3 or 4. No.
Yeah, but the procedure should be different. Huh?
Yeah.
It should address in the same assertion. In the same assertion, it should address different areas. Okay.
And we draft financial statements or finance, like when we say like let's say PP is we are telling the procedure, review all disclosures made in the draft financial statements or financial statements.
I mean, now in the question, if they say that if they have presented the draft financial statements,
no, like they just give the year end.
Yeah.
They give the year and you are planning the audit for the blah blah blah, and the year end is this.
Yes.
So
if they have not finalized, normally now if you take at MAs, we finalize the financial statements and give them to audit.
Okay.
So it depends on the company. So sometimes the companies might give a draft financial statement saying that there might be items which can be added or which can be removed. So then in the draft financial statement, you have to see whether this is included. If not, then you have to say, okay, this has to be included. So that is what the auditors do. Okay, so they evaluate. Now, if you take related parties and all those disclosures has to be included, no. But in the draft financial statement, it might not have included. So then the auditor has to tell them to include the relevant disclosures. Right.
Okay, got it.
So now, I mean, now how when you did the questions, so like, how do you feel confident, or I mean, are there any areas to improve?
Like the first 3 or 4, I mean, like I didn't know how to do, and like after it's the same thing.
So once you get the hang of it, it's just the same question repeated.
And I have some confusions about some of the assertions, like existence and completeness.
Yeah, now existence means now if an asset is physically existing. Now then, if you take a company, there will be non-current assets. So there will be machines, there will be machines, then there will be inventory. Okay, now if you take a non-current asset register, there will be all sort of machines. Okay, so existence means you take a sample from the non-current asset register, and you go to the locations and physically verify whether it is actually existing.
Okay.
And what is the other one you said? Existence and
completeness is like checking back to the
completeness is that you complete. I mean, you record the transaction fully. No. Now, for example, if you bought an asset for say $100,000, that should be recorded. So that is completed. You record all the transactions which occurred.
Occurrence is the opposite of it, right? Like
Opposite.
tracing
Occurrence
from the
means
financial statements to the
here. So occurrence means if you have record something, there should be some supporting documentation for that. For example, if there is any revenue recorded, okay, so you take a sample bit from the financial statements and you trace back to the sales invoices or the GDNs and see whether it has actually happened. So whatever you record should actually happen.
oh.
Completeness means if something happens, you have to record.
That's like the same thing but different, right?
Opposite.
Yeah, same but opposite.
Yeah.
So for like assets or something, there is nothing called occurrence or
So occurrence means, so like I say,
for a
so,
transaction, right?
huh?
Asset, we can't tell there is an assertion called occurrence, right?
Occurrence means, now like I explained, now occurrence means if something, if you record something, it should be there.
Yeah.
You can't record something which you didn't buy. Okay, so normally those things come under the P&L. Okay. Just give me a minute, okay?
Okay, no worries.
Hell. So now if you take it, I'll tell you. So for balance sheet, there are 4 separate assertions, which is existence, completeness, rights and obligations, and valuation. So normally those are the 4 assertions which are tested under balance sheet. If you want, you can write them down. For balance sheet, its existence, rights and obligations.
Balance sheet. Okay. What are the last two, sir?
Balance sheet, for balance sheet is existence, rights and obligations, completeness, and valuation.
Valuation.
Yeah. For income statement, the other things: occurrence, cutoff, accuracy. For income statement, occurrence, accuracy, cutoff, classification, and completeness.
Completeness comes to both, right, sir?
Yes, completeness.
Accuracy doesn't come for balance sheet, sir?
I mean, now these assertions can be tested for any type of transaction. It should, I mean, ideally it should be like that, no, but auditors specifically test these assertions for income statement and the other ones for the balance sheet. Okay.
What is presentation, sir? Presentation assertion.
So presentation means you present the income statements properly. Now there's a proper order, no, in the financial statements.
Yeah.
And also the notes. Okay, properly disclosing it. Okay, so presentation is presentation of financial statements, whether they have properly presented in accordance with the accounting standards.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Uh, in the, I mean, I did the session in the afternoon for Nipuni. I don't know whether you know her. So she was asking
Not
about,
fam-
huh?
not family.
No, I mean, she had some doubts over this circularization, data circularization and all. I mean, are
Yeah,
you
that's
okay
true.
with that, no?
Yeah, there's question also about the
Yes,
steps
that
to
is right.
follow. Yes.
So she was
Data.
asking, I mean, what is it? And I mean, there is positive and negative. What is the difference and all? So
What is that, sir? Positive and negative?
so positive means you send the balance and asking them to confirm whether it is correct. So
Okay.
negative means if, I mean, you send the balance and in the letter it says if it does not agree with the amount, please send your clarification. I mean,
Reply.
please send your reply and tell your, I mean, communicate whatever the what do you call misstatements, the
Okay.
discrepancies of the balances. So yeah, I mean,
So the same thing for supplies, right?
yes, for debtors and
Receiver
creditors, same.
circulation and supply is the same thing. Same
Yeah,
steps, right?
yes, debtors and creditors circulation.
Same. Okay.
And also, I'll send you an MCQ. Did you do any MCQs on procedures other than the things we did in the class?
No, sir. No. I was focused on the past papers.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I will send you some MCQs from past papers. You read the procedures from past papers.
I did the long questions, sir. The ones
Yeah.
like.
So I made a I have a sample of MCQs also for procedures. So I'll send
Okay.
it to you. So do that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
after you do it, I'll correct it and I'll send you. And after that, also we'll just have a small call for, like, discuss the answers. So I'll give you the answers. So if you have any doubts, you can call me and let's discuss about the MCQs also.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Now, basically, now if I just tell you about procedures, okay. So when you write a
Okay.
procedure, you have to always have an action, have a source, and an objective. Okay. Now when I was going through Nipuni's answers, there were some procedures where there is no objective. For
Okay.
example, review board minutes. Okay. So there's an action, there's a source. Reviewing is the
Okay.
action, board minutes is the source. But there's no objective. Why are you doing it? What is the purpose? Okay.
Okay.
So all those three should be addressed. Otherwise, you don't get marks because you are getting only 1 mark for procedure.
Yes.
Okay. If they ask for 5 marks, you have to write 5. Okay. So because of that, if you don't write a complete answer, you don't get the mark. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So that is why, so when you write a procedure, always remember there should be an action, a source, and a objective.
Great. So is it compulsory to write the assertion also?
No.
On
There
it?
is no, I mean, there's no need to write an assertion. So if necessary, I mean, in the what do you call, in the procedure itself, it implies. Okay, the assertion is implied. When you write a procedure, even you write it or not, the assertion is implied in the procedure. Okay, now if
Okay.
you now for example, if you recalculate a cash flow forecast, okay,
Okay.
so then for accuracy purposes, then it will the assertion will be valuation.
Accuracy.
Yeah, accuracy
Okay.
and the valuation. Okay, so that is already implied. So you don't have to, like, specifically say,
Okay.
okay, for this particular assertion, we have to perform this procedure. Okay, so I mean,
Okay.
procedures is this was the easiest area because if you do the past papers, you know that there are common answers that you can write for any question. Okay, but make sure
Okay.
now in certain questions there will be specific issues also. Okay, so for those
Yes.
issues you have to write. Okay, because now if the examiner thinks that you have written general things, then he might not give you the full marks. Okay, so if there are
Okay.
scenario specific issues, always address them and then write the general marks. Okay.
Okay. So meaning of cast is cast,
Yeah.
CAST. CAST is
So casting for arithmetical accuracy and all, right, that is will compare. You just evaluate. It's like an evaluation. You evaluate for arithmetical accuracy.
Okay.
Casting
Okay.
means you like compare and see, compare,
I
evaluate.
I thought it was adding up, and I wrote it like that.
Adding up means?
Like like if you take a schedule, obtain a schedule, and cast this to confirm accuracy. That's okay.
So that is correct.
I thought it was like adding up the totals or something like that.
Yeah, so basically you are evaluating whether it is arithmetically accurate. So it can be, so adding up means now to take a balance sheet or a profit or loss statement, you are for arithmetical accuracy, what you do is obviously adding up. No, you
Yeah.
can't like go in detail and see what is inside. So basically
Yes.
you see whether it is properly added. Likewise, so it's correct. So I mean, what you meant is also correct. So yeah, and also now in some questions there will be like technical areas also where you have to like study, and for example, about the circularization. They have asked in one question about the steps and all for
Yes.
circularization. So those are like technical things. So you can't like think and write. Okay.
Yes.
So likewise, so in the procedures chapter also, there will be technical questions also. So like the areas which we did from audit evidence, getting the help from an expert internal auditor. Okay, so those areas also just go through because there will be technical questions also. Other than that, procedures is like for like 15 to like 20 marks. So obviously you will get MCQs, about 5 MCQs. And also
You'll ask the assertion, right? In the MCQ, what
yeah.
type of assertion is.
So you have to, now they will give you very similar answers. You have to like select the
Yes.
most relevant answer.
Correct.
So that's why MCQs is the critical area in the paper, because get the full marks. There are 15 questions, right? 30 marks.
Yes.
30 marks, right? They are all MCQs. You get 15 questions, right?
Yes.
So 3 scenarios, 5 questions each. So all the 5 questions will be based on 3 scenarios. Okay, so they will give a scenario, 5 questions, another scenario, another 5 questions. You already have done a past paper, right?
I don't know. I checked. We didn't do past.
What do you mean? You already didn't do a mock exam? I mean, now, yeah, they will be, right?
Yeah, they are very showcase are told that there will be like 5 exams. There is the paper format is in the BBBs at the front pages. There is some.
Okay. Yes, there are 30 marks allocated for that.
Yes, sir. 3 questions into 10 marks.
Yeah, that is right. So every scenario will be having 5 questions. So 2 marks each, 15 questions. So you score about 14, 13, 14, definitely will get through. Okay. So I always tell the students to practice more MCQs, because once you complete the MCQs, it will be a relief for you. Okay. So, and also you are getting reading time also, right?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So within the 10 minutes, somehow complete the MCQs. Okay. So that should be the target. So that time the questions and do. Okay. Within 10, after the 10 minutes, just take another 5, maximum 5 more minutes, and somehow within 15 minutes, complete the MCQs. Okay. I mean, don't just, I mean, when you take the paper, obviously there will be no options. No. Okay. If you want, I mean, just go through skim through the requirements. Okay. And see what are the areas and all, but don't like try to read the scenarios during the reading time. Complete the MCQs. Okay, I don't know what Shukriya told, but this is what I am telling to my students. So then it is going to be relief for you. Okay, then you know that you have the entire 3 hours to write the section B. 70 marks. So section A should be the target. Okay, so somehow Now, even during the class also, I mostly emphasized on the MCQ because it's very important. Okay, because they are very tricky answers. Okay, so unless you get the practice by doing those questions, it's going to be it will be a little bit hard. Okay,
So
so
the long questions will be first one from section B, second one from C, third one from D and E, right?
yeah, risk controls and procedures. So you will be asked to write about 8 or 10 risks or
Yes.
control in the next question, same 8 or 10 deficiencies, and then finally procedures and
Procedures.
some audit report areas about the opinions and all.
Okay.
So how's the risk area?
Okay, sir. No,
So
I
since
told Shukri sir that day. He said it was okay.
so since you're doing F7 also, you might be okay with that.
We won't get long questions from section A, right?
Section A.
Corporate governance and
No, you will get some MCQs. That is also very doubtful.
MCQs.
Yeah.
Oh.
So normally in section A also MCQs will be on procedures, risk, and there will be a small chance that you will get from governance also. Uh, ethics, how's ethics?
I think okay.
Okay, no? So in section A it might come ethics, you know. So you all, have you all done practiced MCQs during the class?
Section A, we did the long questions, sir.
Not the
I don't
MCQs.
think we did MCQs. Yes.
Okay. So, in the BPP, are there any MCQs? Might be.
Yes, sir, there are
Yeah.
MCQs. I did them like 2 times or something.
Ah, so
The
how?
section A part. Yeah, there are new learnings. There are also like
That is nice. So practice a lot of MCQs. Okay, because if you get 30 out of 30, then another 20. I mean, I'm not asking you to get 50 because you can try to go for the prize, but just getting through the exam will be a piece of cake. Okay.
yes.
So practice a lot of MCQs. Okay, I give a lot of MCQs when I do the class. Okay,
Yes.
because that is going to be a relief for you, because when you know that you have done the section A properly, then the rest of the 3 hours you can relax.
Yes.
You can relax and comfortably do the questions. The other 3 questions. You will have more time. Now, if you take the MCQs, you are getting uh, 1.8 minutes. Okay, 3 hours means
Okay.
1.8 minutes no per mark.
Okay.
Okay, so 1.8 minutes into 30 is around
30.
54.
54
Okay, so you're saving 54 minutes. Okay,
minutes.
so that is going to be a huge investment in the section B. Okay, so
Yes.
practice a lot of MCQs. Um, so other than that, do you have any concerns on the procedure areas?
No, sir, that's about it.
Okay. So then I'll send you the MCQs. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll
Okay.
send you the MCQs today, and after you do it, just send me the answers through WhatsApp. Then, if you want to have a call, just let me know. We will have a call during the weekend. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, will you be checking the long questions, sir?
The ones you sent.
Yes, sir. Passport.
Okay. So if you want, I can check. Since you told that you went through the answers, I didn't go through it. If you want, I can check.
Yeah, just like can you sir refer like a little bit? Like I'm not sure like whether the first 3 answers are correct or something.
First 3 answers.
Yeah, like first no, I mean like for every question, like first three I wrote myself.
Okay.
The top answers something like can you give me like
Okay.
general feedback?
Yeah, sure. I'll go through it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I'll go through it and I'll give you the feedback on that also.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. That's it.
All good?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So then just drop me a message on WhatsApp. After
Okay,
that
sir.
we'll discuss it. Okay. Okay
Good
then.
night.
See you. Bye. Good night. See you. Bye.